Welcome all the devotees for Bhagavad Gita discussion. We had discussed till text number 15 yesterday, uh, and we have discussed the point that a person who is dhira does not become bewildered by change of the bodies. We are seeing the change of the bodies, but people who are not self-controlled, they become bewildered. Then we discussed why should we tolerate, because anyhow these dualities will come. And then text number 15 explained that a person who tolerates these dualities and remains steady in his duties of Krishna consciousness, that person achieves liberation. So now we'll go forward. Text number 16. Na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satah ubhayorapi drishtontas tvanyostatvadarshabhi. Na asataha vidyate bhava. Asataha means which is not existent. That means of material things. Vidyate bhava. There is. Vidyate means there is. So there means that when something which is not existing, its existence is not there. I'm saying you're saying the same thing. Something which is not existing, it doesn't have its existence. What does it mean? It means something which is not existing in the past and only seems to exist in the present, and again will disappear in the future, does not have existence right now also. So one should not attach too much importance for those things. What is that thing? Material things. In the form they are visible to us. The body which we have is also material, and it was not in the form which we are seeing right now. Will it be remaining in the same form after 20 years? No, not even 20 years, even 10 years, even 5 years. 10 years also you will look very different from what we are looking now. Maybe you won't expect for 10 years, but at least 30 years you look very different. Have you ever had an experience of meeting a person after 20 years? I had an experience of meeting the friend of my uncle after 21 or 25 years. I met him in 91 and then 2000, let's say 12 or something. And it was beyond recognition. I had this image of a person who was young, and then immediately I'm seeing a person who's old. It was like a shock, It's like tomorrow I suddenly become old. If you suddenly see me old tomorrow, will you not be shocked? I had that kind of experience with him. I also had one of my cousins who was very tiny. I had seen him in that, and then since I left home, and then I went back to home once, maybe in bus party, something like that. So then I saw him like a 6 feet person. It was strange, from a small boy, small kid, to again immediately 6 feet person. So you see, we become shocked by this amazing change of body. So the body is constantly changing. So that the Lord is explaining, na asataha vidyate bhava. This body is asat. It is temporary. So vidyate bhava. It doesn't have an existence. You don't attach too much value to it. Na abhava vidyate sataha. Very nice. Something which is sataha, that means something which is eternal, does not have this changing quality. Na sato vidyate bhavaha. Very beautiful point, that material things do not have endurance. They are constantly changing. They will change. Don't be disturbed by this. Are you able to follow this? Today I will be happy. Tomorrow I will not be happy. Today I am sick. Tomorrow I will be healthy. And again I will not remain healthy. Again I will be sick. This is a cycle which is going to continue. This is not a very easy thing to digest. One devotee is very much troubled with her situation now, and she's becoming troubled. Will it ever change? Now think about it. You are in a particular bad situation. Was this situation right? Was this situation there since the beginning of your childhood? Reflect upon it. Not there. So things changed, and now you are in a particular situation. So now this will also change, and you will be in a different situation. Nice one, if a person is miserable now, he was not miserable earlier. So then this misery will also go away in due course of time, and again you will be so-called materially happy. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? So that's why one should remain steady in Krishna consciousness. Sukha will come, happiness will come, material happiness, and material distress will also come. But in both situations, understanding that this is not my atmosphere. I am soul, and this whole material world is not suitable for me. One should remain fixed in the activities of Atma, that is Bhakti, and then go back to God. नहीं समझ आ रहा है. It's a very, very important point. उभयोर अपि दृष्टो. The second line is understood. न अभाव विद्यते सतः. That means, what is it? Na abhava. That means sata, something which is eternal. Atma doesn't have a changing quality. It doesn't change. Now, before we go forward, I would like you to do a small experiment. I have some of the devotees might be knowing it, other devotees have to reflect upon it. Vipin Prabhu, have you ever thought that you have changed since your childhood?
Change.
Have you ever felt that you have changed?
Said.
So that's why I'm saying this is a point you have to understand. Huh? The body is changing. Earlier I also had asked this question and one devotee was very much vehemently opposing me. No, Prabhuji, we are changing. So if you are changing, how you can be the constant observer of the change? Just like our Prabhu told me yesterday that he was in America. When we were in America?
2006.
2006. So quite some time has passed, is it not? And still you remember that you were in America. So you were in America. So there must be a person who's same in 2006 as well as in 2021 who has seen the change, that you were in America in 2006 and now in 2021 or whatever time we are in Vrindavan. Can you see that? Will it ever going to change? The person who's observing the change, that means you, will you ever change? That's what the Lord is saying. But will your body endure? Did your body exactly look like the way it looked in 2006? No.
Many people, when I came after 5 years back from America, many people I see, they actually getting old.
Yes, many people are getting old.
Even only in 5 years, I see people getting old.
You will see them old and you will see them leaving the body also. So this is a reality which we don't understand. So, but why? Because we are not Tattvadarshi. But if you reflect a little bit, then you understand this point. Ubhayor api drishtoantas. The drisht anta. You have heard the word siddha anta. Siddh plus ant is called siddhanta. So siddhanta means conclusion. Ubhayor api drishtantas. Ubhayor api. Ubhaya means both. Seeing both of them, the people who are Tattvadarshi, by them, Tattvadarshi means who can see the truth. They have concluded, Ubhayor api drishtontas tu anyaha. That means, regarding these two, those people who are Tattvadarshis, who know the truth, they have concluded that something which is material, it will not endure, it will change. And something which is eternal, which is soul, will never change. So what is the benefit of this conclusion? We control our senses so that we become Tattvadarshi and do not become disturbed by the changes of the material body or mind which are anyhow going to happen. Make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go forward. Avinashi tu tad vidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham avyayasyasya na kasyit kartum arhati. Avinashi tu tad vidhi. Vidhi means know. You please know that avinashi tu tad. Tad was that which is avinashi, which is indestructible. Yena sarvam idam tatam, which is pervading all throughout the body. What is pervading all throughout the body? Is your consciousness. The consciousness of the soul can never be destroyed. And then he says, Vinasham avyasya, something which is inexhaustible. Avyaya means which is not degraded, which doesn't become changed, which doesn't become depleted. Vinasham na kaschit kartum arhati. That consciousness or soul, the destruction of the soul, which is indestructible, is not possible. Vinasham avyasya. Of the avyaya, of the soul which is indestructible, the destruction is impossible. Make sense? Is it getting too high-fi? Prabhuji, I was hardly knowing some Telugu. Now you are teaching us Sanskrit also. Let us see the translation that will help you. That which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. In this, if you remember, we have discussed this that the soul is pervading throughout the body, just like Alokvat, just like Surya or sun is at one place and it illuminates the whole universe. Now you see one tube light is illuminating the whole room. If there was one tube light, that also was sufficient to illuminate the whole room. So the light of tube light is pervading the whole of the room. So now just do an experiment to touch your hand with another of your hand. Can you touch? And you feel something? Now this feeling is because of the consciousness of the soul. Now you may say, why you are saying such a simple thing? Because scientists will say this feeling is your C fiber firing. And that, what is C fiber, we don't know. If you feel some pain, you experience the pain. That experience is because of the consciousness of the soul. And the consciousness of the soul can never be destroyed. Another example of how you can detect what is conscious is called the Gyan Shakti of Atma. Can somebody remember what is Gyan Shakti? Yes, so I exist. Ranchhod Prabhu, are you here? I am. So that is called consciousness. Can I ask the same question? You are wearing a blue chadar and there's a blue bottle. So can I ask the same question with the blue bottle?
You can ask for it.
I can ask, but she cannot, she or not, it cannot, not she, it cannot reply. Am I giving boring class? Yes. Am I giving good class? No. All those things you cannot, boring or not boring, both you are experiencing. So this is very important. Why is important? Because devotees also think that by material gain, I'll become happy. You should always remember, by material gain, we can never become happy. These things are not going to touch us. We have a material need to maintain the body. But by material gains, we are not going to become happy. Whatever comes of its own accord, we don't have to try too much for it. And it's amazing that if it is in somebody's karma, it is going to come even if he does not try at all. This is not simply the shlokas that you have to learn and forget and give some exam in Bhakti Shastri or something like that. And I'm not commenting against you. I'm just saying doing Bhakti Shastri is good. No problem. But you must reflect upon this shloka. In our life, we should not sell our soul for material gain. Be very intelligent for it. This situation, this material situation will change very soon. And everything will be taken away from us, from all of us. But whatever bhakti we have done, nobody, no time, nothing can take it away. So a person who is intelligent will save his energy and time for doing devotional service as much as possible he can do. Does it make sense? I was just hearing Srila Prabhupada then explains this discussion of Bhagavad Gita is bhajan. A very simple point. It's service to Krishna. You're taking prasadam, it's service to Krishna. And no matter how much you are bewildered, we are bewildered in terms of modes of material nature, still whatever devotional service we are doing, we are making progress. Even unknowing devotional service. What to talk of being conscious in devotional service. What I'm just trying to say, the soul is indestructible. You have unlimited chance to get love of God.
Yes.
You got it? You will never be destroyed. You can never be destroyed, and Krishna will give you chance again and again till we get love of God. And love of God is very exalted. Just if we can come to Nishtha, very nice. Then no more problem to do bhakti. Are you not seeing that devotees, I'm repeating the same point over and over again, that even devotees, for some devotees, it's difficult to bring their body in bhakti, leave alone the words and mind. I'm not commenting against some person, but it's just the modes of material nature are troubling them so much, they can't even wake up for Mangalarati. But certain devotees, very easy, is it not? So those who are not able to wake up, they should not feel discouraged. They should keep on trying and then see, suddenly it becomes very easy. It just becomes very easy. It becomes very easy to chant Hare Krishna and everything. You have to persevere in Krishna consciousness. I am not putting anyone down. It's only because of the modes of material nature that we become affected. Now you are not able to understand, is it not? Many things. But then suddenly you say, "Hey, Prabhuji, kuch katin bolo." At some point, you'll understand it is very easy to understand. Even what you are able to understand, that much also people will not be able to understand. We're completely new. You remember yesterday, some 2, 3 guests came and I was discussing Chetan Chatamit. They could not, most probably, they could not even understand a word of it, what I was talking. And everything else was easy yesterday. कल अब जो लोग भी थे बहुत आसान था, is it not? So then they will just walk off. At least they heard something, but that's what happens. Nothing, कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया. Anyways. So now we have understood this point, that consciousness of the living entity, that means the living entity itself can never be destroyed. Text number 18. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmad yuddhasva bharata. Antavant ime deha. This body will be destroyed anyhow, whether you kill them or you don't kill them. This is one point. Nityasvoktaha sharirinaha. Shariri means the soul is called Nitya Uktaha, is called Nitya, is always called eternal. So the soul will never be killed. Anashinaha. Anashi, how does Srila Prabhupada translate? Is never to be. Okay. Vinash, Nashina, Anashina. Vinash, you have understood? Vinash means destroy. Nash means to destroy. Anashinaha means to not destroy. When it is in English, it becomes difficult to translate for me when I see the Hindi, when I see the Sanskrit, it is easy for me to identify. When I see it in English, it is a little more difficult. Anyhow, Anashina, you understand? Anashina means cannot be destroyed. What cannot be destroyed? Soul cannot be destroyed. Aprameyasya. Aprameya means it cannot be measured also. We know the size of the soul is 1/10,000 of the tip of hair. Tasmad yuddhasva bharata. So, O Bharata. Now here Bharata refers to Arjuna. Because Lord Krishna is talking to Arjuna. Oh Bharata, you must fight. Now, what is the relationship? The body is going to get destroyed and the soul will not get destroyed. So how can Lord conclude that he should fight? Because as a Kshatriya, he must do his duty. And this war was being fought for the cause of dharma.
Yes.
And anyhow, nobody will get killed. Now you're able to follow why Lord is saying Tasmat? Yes. Same thing in our devotional service. It's not that somebody like your father dies or even your son dies, whatever. It is also possible. It's not that you're a fair devotee, then your son will not die or your daughter will not die. Anything happen to anyone. But does anyone dies? No. So we should continue to persevere in our Krishna consciousness. Everybody meets his fate as per his karma. When the karma finishes, he has to change the body. No matter whether it is young or old or anybody. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Hopefully it makes sense. Because Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj told one time there was a devotee who was chanting Hare Krishna for 16 years. And he was in a boat trip and then the boat capsized and whole family died. Who died? Amarnath Prabhu? You are sleeping? No problem. You can give him the sofa. He can sleep, lie down nicely like Mahavishnu and sleep in Yoga Nidra. And then you can say Sahasra Tirtha Pursa. Anyways, no problem. This shows I am speaking bona fide Krishna Katha and there is no adulteration of Prajalpa here. Because as soon as I would have done some Prajalpa, you cannot sleep. Only if it is pure Krishna Katha you can sleep, is it not? This is a test. If the audience is sleeping, then you are doing Krishna Katha. And if you are doing Prajalpa, then the audience is not sleeping. Don't worry, no problem. See, when you come here, you should be assured that you can't sleep because I'm seeing everybody here. Okay? It's okay, no problem. So you're understanding this point? Anyhow, my body is going to leave. My body is going to get destroyed. What I was saying, yeah. So one should not give up his duties.
That was the we have not completed.
What I was saying, I forgot. Yeah, so then that person, he said, oh, my whole family is lost. Then he gave up Krishna consciousness. So it's not that easy. If you remain here, if you hear clearly, every day you chant Hare Krishna, then you won't be affected. But it actually happens that people go back to their homes and do all sorts of things. They become bewildered that attachment in the heart comes, and all those things are there. Weakness of the heart will come. We cannot change anyone's karma. Make sense? Krishna can change. So only way we can help a person is by helping him to become Krishna conscious. Okay. Now, now Lord is explaining the same point of the soul in different ways. Ya enam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhautau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. So if Arjuna might have asked this question, but I am seeing that people are being killed, how can you say that people are not being killed? So then the Lord, or I'm killing a person, or somebody will kill me. I'm seeing it. Now this is something very important before we discuss this, that conditioned soul worships Vyakta. Vyakta means which is in front of his eyes. So we have our relatives, we have our career and all those things. But please try to understand that it's an illusion. Before we go forward, can you reflect upon it that it's actually an illusion? Some jivas have to become cows. Some of them have to become mosquitoes. Some of them have to become our friends and relatives. Some have to become so many people so that this drama can go on. I mean, if you can see that, it detaches you from this world so easily. Can you see it, Akash Prabhu? It is called transcendental knowledge. That people all around us, they're all living entities. You even see when a rat is also a living entity, a mosquito, or a cow, and all those things. It's a whole big affair. Some soul is there and the body is there, as per its karma is joined together, and they're coming around us. Obviously, devotees are there, that is very good. But still, we are not seeing them. We are seeing the bodies only. Make sense? That really helps us to come out of the platform of enemies and friends. We relate with the devotees as friends because they help us in Krishna consciousness. So we have a loving relationship with the devotees. But considering a person as friend and enemy because he disturbs my sense gratification, that is not good. Very subtle point. All of India consider Pakistan, the whole of Pakistan as enemy. The same thing the Pakistanis are thinking, that we are their enemy. Chinese are thinking that Indians are enemy. And Indians are thinking Chinese are enemy. And they don't understand the real enemy is within, which is lust, anger, greed. And there is no government plan how to destroy lust, anger, greed and all those things. Can you now understand what is the potency of illusion? Whole country is illusioned in that. Have you ever concerned, is your father or mother ever concerned, my daughter or my son has lust, anger, greed, he should be fixed for that. If you have fever, they will be very much worried. But if you ever say, my mother, I am feeling lust, I am feeling anger and all those things. Yeah, okay. She will not even hear that, you know that? She won't even hear that. That is a problem. Lust, okay, get married. As if by getting married, you become Paramahansa or something like that. All the lust will get adjusted by that. They have no solution. They are not trying for the solution, and it's not their priority also. So it's only when we come in association of sadhus, then we understand there are some people who actually want to conquer over these real enemies. This is will be confirmed by the Lord in the coming chapters. So, a person who thinks somebody is getting killed or somebody who is killing is also an illusion. Ya enam veti hantaram. Hantaram means the killer. Ya enam, somebody who thinks that the soul is a killer. Yes cha enam mannate hatam, or somebody thinks that the soul has been killed. Ubhauto na vijanito, both of them, both of them are not situated in knowledge. Nayam hanti na hanyati, because neither the soul is killing nor the soul is getting killed. Srila Prabhupada I was hearing his lecture. I would recommend every devotee to buy this. This is very good. I mean, I'm not taking any profit, so we are giving on cost price. It really helps you because it's only Srila Prabhupada's lectures loaded, and when you do some yoga or whatever, every day you hear 5 to 10 minutes also, you'll get some very beautiful point. And Srila Prabhupada explains about Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ was being crucified, then why he prayed? Because he was not illusioned. He was knowing I am not getting killed, actually, and they are not killing me, but they are thinking that they cannot kill me. Also, they are thinking that they are killing me. Very nice point, is it not? How much fearless we can be if we are in that consciousness. I mean, it's difficult to be, but once you have realized, just like somebody is, suppose my dhoti kurta is there in my room, and somebody starts shooting the dhoti kurta. Yeah, now we have killed the Shuk Krishna Das, this rascal number one preacher of Bhagavad Gita. What he thinks, now we'll kill him. And I say, yeah, go on, carry on. I'll give you one more dhoti kurta, you kill. Now we are laughing, but somebody comes and now shoots me, I'll be afraid, is it not? But that's the standard of a devotee. The same way Socrates was there. Very nice story. He was preaching some philosophy which was against the Christianity or something at that time. So the king sent some soldiers to him. He said, you stop this, otherwise we'll kill you. He did not listen. So then finally they gave him a poison. They brought a very heavy poison in front of him. And they said, today we have caught you, will not leave you, and will kill you. So then Socrates says, you can kill me, but first you have to catch me. And he's surrounded by soldiers. So he was convinced that he is not the body. This is very, very important. You know, you can't escape this point. If I am not the body, why should I worry too much about the body? Right? Make sense? Just like these beautiful hairs, they belong to the body. Ye reshmi julfe, whatever. Now our Akash Prabhu also have the same, but I hope if he removes the hair, there will be big trouble in the home. But this only increases our bodily conception, is it not? How I'm looking, I have no problem, but it does increase our bodily attachment. I am happy when Mataji, I asked her mother, she wanted her to get married. I said, how much? It was very interesting. This question she never expected. How much dowry you have reserved for her? I said 25 lakhs. I said, just fix it for her, and that will be sufficient for her to get maintained all her life. Then she said, then I asked her, does she ask too much things from you? No, she said earlier yes, but now she does not ask many things from me, because now she's a devotee. She lives a very simple life. So you see, it is possible. And is there any guarantee, actual guarantee, that the husband will not leave her after her marriage? We don't know, seeing the present situation. And is it sure that the husband will have the job and she will not have to work? It's not happening also. This is happening also, is it not? All those things are happening in this world. So I'm just saying, and it's amazing that her elder sister never married and she died at the old age. So you know why I'm saying all these things? How we become conditioned to behave like bodies by other people who are conditioned to behave like bodies. Those people who are behaving like bodies, who can't think of eternal soul, they will preach to us that you must behave like this. You can't think out of the box. You can't get out of the box also. And Lord is telling us to get out of the box and think out of the box also. Nobody is getting killed. Nobody is killing. Everybody meets his destiny as per his karma, and then he will die. Okay? Beautiful shlok. You all must be knowing this. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. Na jayate, it is never born. Who is never born? Soul. So when is the birthday of the soul, Ankit Prabhu? When is the birthday of the soul? As per Bhagavad Gita, when should the soul cut the cake? I'm making fun of him. But as devotees, you should never celebrate your birthday if you hear this shloka. Are you understanding, Ankit Prabhu? Now will you ever cut the cake? No. Prabhuji, you are making too much fun. But this is a fact. Only Jayanti is Krishna Jayanti. Our- we don't have a Jayanti. We have whatever say Jalanti, whatever. We have come on this jail on this particular day. Not Jayanti. Krishna Jayanti. What is that? Only Krishna has Jayanti. All of us have Jalanti. You were pushed to this jail. Maharaj really makes fun. I'm not only picking up on you, but anybody who plays, who has his birthday, he says, somebody comes in the jail and he says, uh, then he says, every day, every year, if he celebrates that this day I came to this jail. That is not really funny, is it not? And how you come to this jail, Maharaj explains very nicely. Somebody invites you for prasadam, and he first puts you in a in a nala, what is it, nala? In a sewer, in a canal of sewage. And then when you come out, and he beats you up nicely with a stick, and then he says, "Thank you, welcome." Is it not? That's how we are being born every time in every life. It's a very serious matter, is it not? If your mother says, you don't practice Krishna consciousness, you owe so much to me, I have given you birth. I mean, you cannot obviously reply like this, but you say, you have not given me birth in a very comfortable manner, is it not? बेटा तेरे को 9 महीने पेट में रखा तो क्या एसी चला रही थी? Had you put AC air conditioner in this in the गर्भ? This is a very heavy stuff. This is really heavy stuff. We have to. Watch is breaking. Hare Krishna. Can you hear? You can't hear. You can hear, but they cannot hear, na? Freeze हो गया. अच्छा. Yeah. Oh, this disturbs us so much. Why the now the sound is coming or no?
Yes.
The speed is very good. I don't know why it's freezing. Let me just check the speed.
No, it's not.
Yeah, for 48 Mbps, it should not be a problem. Okay, we go forward. So na jayate, the Atma will never be born. It never gets born. But maybe it will die. So na mriyateva, it won't be die also. Kadachit means at any point of time you will never die. What about a career in this material world? Nothing. So don't get a job. Na ayam bhutva, at no point it will, bhutva proper translated as having come into being, and bhavita will come to be. Va na bhuya, or is again coming to be. So like this, it basically it is not that it has come into existence earlier, or it is coming now, or it will come in the future. It's eternal. That's the whole point. I am not satisfied by my explanations now because we have discussed this each and every word in detail in the commentary. So I would recommend you to hear that lecture because you do not have time to discuss that. And every word was very nicely described and saying, and it was distinguished how the body comes into being and stays and how it is different from the soul. All those things we have given with the chart. So those things it is resting upon you to take the responsibility here. Ajaha nityaha. Aja means it is never born. Nitya means it is eternal. Shashvat again it means eternal, but they have subtle differences of meaning which you have to again hear in that commentary. Ayam Purano. Ayam means this soul is old. Puran means it is old. So don't think it is old in the sense it will become degenerated. No, it is Shashvat. It remains ever fresh. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. When the body is destroyed, the soul is not destroyed. So all those things should help us to give up lamentation. Because if we have lamentation, we cannot do bhakti. Make sense? And we must remember, we are in a very troubled situation, being situated and trapped in this body, which is completely different from our actual nature. So we remain focused to realize ourselves. We have got so many parents in so many lives. This is probably the first time, or very rarely, we have got the association of devotees and proper method or path by which we can go back to Godhead. Nothing else really matters. Nothing else really matters. If we can pick up on this, we'll remain very fixed in bhakti. I am just doubtful. Are you feeling that I am training you to be hard-hearted? It's not like that. If a devotee is sick, we take care of him, everything. But we don't forget our prime duty to become Krishna conscious and go back to Krishna. This is an illusory word. Even in front of your eyes, your mother can die and you can't do anything. You just can't do anything. Does it make sense to you? आपके सामने भाई मर जाएगा, कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. So because of that, and it is not happening for materialistic people, it's happening. What I'm just trying to say, when you hear Bhagavad Gita, there must be something coming in your heart. I am soul and I must realize myself. Something comes. But if you hear a material vibration, immediately that thing will come that I'm this body, I'm this body, I'm this body. The sound vibration is very powerful. Again, the Lord will explain about Atma. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajamavyayam katham sa purushah partha kam ghatayati hantikam. One who knows Veda avinashinam nityam ya enam ajamavyayam. Enam means ya enam. Ya means one who, and enam means this soul. Ya enam, that person who knows Veda, who knows this soul to be avinashi, indestructible. Nityam, that means eternal. Ajam, unborn. And avyam means not decaying. Especially the word avya means where, you understand? Where means kharch karna, to spend. Avya means which cannot spend. The energy of the soul remains same. Then when a person knows like this, katham sa purushah partha, that person, O Partha, how he can kam ghatayati hantikam, how can he kill somebody, or he himself can be killed. I give the example of Socrates and Jesus. They were convinced that we cannot kill me. Okay. Now the Lord gives the famous example, which I think all the devotees must have at least heard. Changing of cloth. Maybe the fan can be a little bit increased. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naro parani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. It's too high. Let's put it on 3. Is not working? Okay. Take it. No problem. We will not get burned. No problem. ठीक है. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. Vihaya means give up. Vasansi means clothes, not only cloth, clothes. Because there are many clothes which get decayed and we, or say old, and we give them up. Vasansi jirnani. Again, jirnani is in bahuvachan, that means in plural. So when they become jeered, as the clothes become jirna or worn out, yatha means like. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. So just like a person gives up old clothes when they become old, or clothes which become old, and navani grihnati naro aparani. Aparani means other clothes, and navani means new, and grihnati means accepts, and he accepts new clothes. Tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani. Easy to understand? Similar way, when the body becomes jirna, that means old, then the soul gives up the body, and anyani sanyati navani dehi. Then samyati, he takes up new bodies. It's very easy to understand. Very easy to understand. समझ गए ना सब? So now, any difficulty in joining the temple? पूरा बात समझ में नहीं आया. Akash Prabhu, any difficulty in joining the temple? You have understood the shloka? You know what he says? Prabhuji, when I go to Vrindavan, I cannot be passionate. Now it's amazing. One devotee is asking me how to come to goodness, and this fellow is saying, I want to remain passionate, remaining in Lucknow. Quite amazing. As devotees, we want to be in goodness. You can scratch your brain, isn't it? He says that I cannot remain passionate in Vrindavan, so I want to be in Lucknow. He has no problem staying in Vrindavan. We have nice prasadam, everything nice. But just to remain passionate, he is staying in Lucknow. And can you not preach from Vrindavan? Am I not preaching from Vrindavan? Through online, everything is there. So reflect upon it. I'm not chastising, I'm just saying, see, these are not chastisement, these are point of reflection. You are two brothers, is it not? Suppose you would have died, then your younger brother would have taken the responsibility of taking care of father and mother. So what is the difficulty? Just think that you have died. So you see, is it not? I'm alone, son, is it not? I left the family, nobody died. Nobody died because of me. Anyhow, but it's a point of reflection. I don't preach about being brahmachari something. You should have you have sufficient time to do only bhakti, at least in your life. I think you are also two brothers, is it not? So you are coming here, is anybody dying in your home? No. And suppose if we leave the body also, will they die? And obviously, can we die? No. It's a change of body, change of clothes. Okay. Prabhupada gives a very interesting example. Very interesting example. Suppose you have old clothes, old dhoti kurta, and if you get new dhoti kurta, will you be happy?
Yes.
Answer is correct. Yes. If we get new dhoti kurta, we become happy. That is natural. That's the Lord is saying. If there is change of body, why are you actually becoming unhappy? Because Bhishma and Drona, they are pious people, so they will get new bodies. Is makes sense? What is the chat? Is there any question? No. Okay. So all these things we have discussed quite in length in our individual shloka discussion, so you have to refer to that. I'm just trying to make a flow. Yes, flow. जाते बॉडी में ही हैं. That is the whole point, that he's saying that once we give up the body and we get another body, we don't go back to Godhead. That's the question you have to ask. How long you want to change these bodies? That is a question I have to ask. How long I want to continue this drama? Vipin Prabhu, do you remember your husband from your last life? Husband? Ranchor Prabhu, how was your beautiful wife in your last life? I don't know. And it was not long back. And we are, is it not, what is your age right now? 28. So before 30 years, the world existed? Definitely. No, not even 38. Let's say 50 years back. The world existed. I always give the example so many times to drive the point. World existed or not? No? World was existing or not? This Prithvi was, India was existing, or you created when you took birth? No. So before our birth, this world was existing. And if you actually reflect, sometimes you think, Prabhuji, you are giving the same example over and over again, because I meditate upon them. And if you reflect upon them, it will go enter into your heart. Before 50 years also, we were not there in this form which I was there. Shashikant Prabhu is maybe 50 years, so maybe he will. Prabhuji, Shashikant Prabhu, 50 साल पहले दुनिया थी ना? 50 साल पहले दुनिया थी, भारत था. So he is confirming that 50 years back, India was there. So none of us, and Gaur Gopal Prabhu, what is your age? 58. So are you confirming that India was there 50 years back? So there are two confirmations, and you can ask your elders also. But we were not there in the form in which we are now. Why I am saying this? We were similarly absorbed in that body as we are absorbed in this body. I have to do a job. I must take care of the kids. The kids look so nice and cute. Dekho, he's saying Papa, Mummy. This is all illusion we have passed. It's not new thing what you are doing. If you read Bhagavatam, where it talks about Naradji, and Naradji is a small child and is going to North Himalayas, and he sees the same creation. He is remembering the creation in the previous day of Brahma. Because in the previous day of Brahma, he was a small child. You should remember that. And he's describing the same creation. And in this life, and now he's describing to Vyasadeva 5,000 years back. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? So then Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice comment. This creation has been going on repeatedly like a movie show, is it not? So why are you becoming attached to all those things? You know, this whole world will not listen to such words. They will never give us like buttons for speaking such things. They won't even understand that. But a devotee must understand, and in this way not aspire for material results when he's practicing Krishna consciousness. He should remain fixed. I want to realize myself. I want to realize my relationship with the Lord, no matter how much time it takes. And it won't take much time. Actually, it won't take much time if I am doing devotional service in this Nishkam Bhav. पता नहीं मेरी बातें समझ में आ रही कि नहीं? If I am chanting Hare Krishna with a desire that I must get love of God, Nam Prabhu, please bless me with this, remaining focused on this point, then you will realize yourself much faster than a person who is aspiring for material results from his devotional service. Don't underestimate this. This attitude is a game-changing thing. Everybody is chanting Hare Krishna was asked by Mahaprabhu. Everybody chants Hare Krishna, or it is those who chant. Why everybody gets different results? We also see everybody gets different results because they chant with different aspiration. So by hearing, which we fix our aspiration. No, nothing to do with my body will satisfy me. Okay, only which will help me is bhakti. And I don't want to go forward and too much into this, but this is the point, you have to realize this. And even if our parents can't understand, what you can do. Now the Lord explains it in a very interesting way so that we can distinguish the soul from material objects. Nayanam chindanti shastrani nayanam dahati pavakah na chainam kledyantapo na shoshayati marutah. You don't have a shloka, you're looking left and right? You can use this phone, no problem. So, na enam. Enam refers to the soul. Na enam chindanti shastrani. This soul cannot be cut by weapons. So now you can think of anything which can be cut by weapons, and that is not soul. You think of any object in this world which can be cut by weapon, but that is not soul. So just to give an idea of what the soul is, we hear this. It is in a negation, in a way of negating, and to distinguish the soul from anything in this world, the Lord is explaining in this way. It's called na iti, na iti. The soul is not this, soul is not this. Na enam chindanti shastrani. This soul cannot be cut by weapons. Na enam dahati pavakah. The soul cannot be the soul cannot be burned by fire. Na cha enam klidyan tapah. Apah means water. The soul cannot be moistened by water. Now, if that is the case, we must not feel fearful in taking bath. Oh, it is too cold. No. The soul cannot be made wet by water. Is it not, Milind Prabhu? I am waiting since years together so that I can see one day you can take up the service of opening Mangal Arati Darshan. But maybe maybe Milind Prabhu's souls becomes wet by water. Is it not? And I know in Maharashtra it's not cold also. Yes, it is cold. Maybe cold here. Not even cold here, is it not? So, my dear lazy soul, you should. Well, no, Prabhuji. Where in Bhagavad Gita the soul is called lazy? Yeah, it is not. But that's what I can see. So, you sleep in time. I hope you don't mind. Sometimes 4:30. I did not see you today. No. You are not supposed to come at 4:30. You are supposed to come at 4:25. Then you can wake up. Is it not? When you have to start a movie, the person who starts the movie comes in the first, is it not? Yes. Make all the arrangements. From 3 days, I did not see your video. No, I did not see. So this is very important. So by water you will not get moistened. Don't worry about it. Okay. But you will get cleaned by Harinam. Sarvatma snapanam param vijayati Sri Krishna Sankirtana. I never spoke this point, but it's very good. Water cannot moisten you, but Harinam can cleanse you completely and drown you in the ocean of nectar. What is that? Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamritasva. Sarvatmasnam. It just cleans the soul of all these things. All these things are there because we are not clean in our consciousness. So Harinam can reach the soul and clean the soul completely. The mind, the body, everything. You must be feeling some days when the chanting was good. Like today was very nice chanting. Somehow Krishna can give you a formula and it will be nice. The formula is there. You remain humble and respectful. It was a good day yesterday. I hope I did not commit offenses to any one of you. And I just try to keep quiet. It works. It works really nice. Your consciousness is very good. Just don't criticize. Just one day, try not to criticize. And sometimes you say, "Hum ninda nahi kar rahe hain. We are not criticizing," but and then you will start criticizing. You just remain away from such people and just remain cool and cool. समझ रहे हो? Cool. It really works nice for chanting. The next day chanting is so good, really good. Today I was not even like almost. I think I did not stood up also in between the class. I was just chanting. So good. So Harinam touches the soul. And nothing material can touch the soul. Na shoshati marata. Maybe the water cannot moisten, but सूख जाएगी आत्मा. Sometimes our parents say, तुमने तो मेरी आत्मा को सुखा दिया, भक्ति कर रहे हो. You are drying up my soul. But na shoshati marata. Then you say, tell to your parents, my dear mother, my dear father, no, atma cannot be dried up by anything. So no matter what I do, you cannot be dried up. Okay? Yes. Don't think it doesn't happen. Where it happens so much. Even devotee parents, if the child is not listening and all that, and they go, oh, we are sukh gaye, we cannot do bhakti and all this. We'll take one more shloka and then finish. Ajhe achedyoyam adahayoyam akledyo shoshya evacha nityah sarvagatah sthanor achaloyam sanatana achedya. You cannot pierce a hole within the Atma. Ayam, this Atma. Adahayo ayam. Again, it cannot be burned. Akledya, it cannot be moistened. Ashoshya, it cannot be dried up. Evacha. Eva means certainly. Nitya, it is eternal. Sarvagataha sthanur. Sarvagataha, Srila Prabhupada explains, it can go anywhere. It means the Atma can exist in any body all over the universe. Not wrong. Atma is all pervading. But here very carefully, what does the meaning of all pervading? All pervading does not mean that Prem Krishna Prabhu or Shubh Krishna Das is all pervading everywhere. Nah. Be very careful. Because this is how the impersonalist can interpret it. Sarvagata, the Atma is going everywhere. Going everywhere, but individually. Not that it is expanding and goes to everywhere. That is not possible for Atma. That is only possible for Paramatma, but not for Atma. Sarvagata means that it can inhabit in any body, in any environment. Just like in Surya. Suryadev is also a living entity, and he has a fiery body by which he can live in a fiery atmosphere. Makes sense? You see, very simple, very difficult for us to breathe in water. But for fishes also are living entities, so they can adapt to any suitable body to live in any suitable atmosphere. Sthanur. What is the meaning of sthanur? Unchangeable. Yeah, it doesn't change. Achala means immovable. Now, somebody can say, Prabhuji, you are here now. I am as soul in this body. Now, when I'll go to Krishna hall, you are moving. But it should not be understood in the sense of movable, of physical, geographical location. Immovable means, achala means it remains fixed in its quality of being Atma. That's how what we understood. I again means Atma, and Sanatana means eternal. Okay. Sarvagata and Achalam. Sarvagata point was that the soul can be situated in any body and it can survive because it is not affected by material things. Achala means it doesn't change its quality. It is fixed in its quality of whatever the Satchidananda, you can say whatever. The quality of the soul, it doesn't move from that point. Achala does not mean that it is moving with the body, not moving, or it is not moving with the body. If I leave this place and go to Krishna hall, am I still sitting here? So that way you should not understand it. This is Bhagavad Gita is amazing. And this we have, again, you remember we've discussed in detail from the commentary. So all those things are available. I'm just... I think we should stop here. It's already 9. Huh? Continue. Question. It's already 9 a.m. Maharaj was telling something on birthday. I explained already that oh, well, the point was the person, the birthday point was that the Atma never takes birth, but we are actually taking, it seems that we are taking birth. And we think it's very happy birth, but nobody's birth is happy. We are actually being beaten up when we come to this material world. So person is not very intelligent to celebrate your birthday. It is like person who's celebrating is coming to a jail and says, "You take sweets," and why are you distributing sweets? This day I actually came to this jail like it's my birthday. Like that. So like that, Maharaj was giving the example. It's only 9 a.m. I think many of the Atmas are getting dried up because of hunger. There are many great devotees here who are presenting the Mangal Arati currently. So how can I present myself without ever even being a part of their presented effort? So we'll definitely present soon, but first we'll attend theirs. At least trying to do so from past 3 days, and it's really very Anand in morning Mangal Arati. Yeah, good lecture. But my dear Atma, my dear lazy Atma, you have to present the Mangal Arati tomorrow. Okay? You can give all the, you can use the philosophy to not come for Mangal Arati also. Yeah, that's the good beauty of Krishna consciousness. You can use the philosophy for anything. So please come. Krishna is very happy when you actually come for Mangal Arati. Okay? So I stop here. I'll allow you to be moistened by prasadam. Can you be moistened by food? No. Okay. So that is a problem because people practice Krishna consciousness. They chant Hare Krishna. But that's good. Very nice. But if you hear Siddhanta, your Hare Krishna becomes very powerful. समझ रहे मेरी बात? Now you understand, you will never, hopefully when you understand these things, you will never chant Hare Krishna to get recognition or fame and all those things. If you can, it gets into our head. Because none of these things actually touch the soul. Some questions are there. I'll just take it. Thank you for your appreciation. Jai Radhe Mataji. Hopefully it is Radhe. Mata Jai Radhe means Mataji. There is some Shunyavadi here with 0, 0, 0, 0. The name says Shunyavad. 4, 0. At least put 1 in front of the zeros. At least put your name. Impersonalists often give the example of Atma merging with Paramatma after death, just the way a drop of water merges with the ocean and becomes the ocean. Text 24 clarifies the position of Atma, that soul is insoluble. We should remember when the Lord was speaking this famous shloka, Natve vaham jatu nasam, natvam neme janadipaha, nacheva na bhavishyama sarve vayamatah param. You please read the purport. It is very nice. There itself, this Mayavadi concept is destroyed. Because Paramatma, Krishna himself is saying that there was no time when I was not existing, you were not existing, and all other kings were not existing. And there will be no time in the future when both of us will not exist. So the Paramatma himself is saying, I don't have any room for you within me. I have room for you in my dham, but not within me. You cannot merge in me. Does it make sense? We can never lose our individuality. Srila Prabhupada gives a very sarcastic remark somewhere elsewhere in the purport. He says, if after self-realization, the self is destroyed, who got the realization? Can you catch it? Very beautiful. If you say after self-realization, the self is destroyed, so who realized? The self is finished. So if the self itself is finished, then who is realizing the self-realization? You must realize, no, oh, today khichdi is very good, I realize. But if you are finished, then who will realize? So you will see there are so many difficulties in the presentations of Mayavadis. Because what happens is, you know this, to say one lie, you have to say so many lies. This is a lie that the soul can merge into Brahman. It doesn't merge into Brahman. Even in Brahman, it remains in its existence, conscious. Only difficulty, it doesn't have service of Krishna, then again it falls down. Aruhya krachena param padam tataha padanti nadarta yushmat padangreha. You have heard that. Few questions more. Why is death supposed to be so painful, Prabhuji? Oh, we did that experiment. You remember Prem Krishna Prabhu? Or who was that? Yeah, you were there. You were the Mr. Death. While changing garment, there is no pain, but death pain is there. And we don't remember that pain in next birth. At least you remember in this birth. So be conscious of it. And let us do this experiment again. My dear Death Prabhu, come here. Suppose this is my garland. Okay, and this is my body. So I am very much attached to the garland. So Death Prabhu is coming and he is snatching my garland. Ah, ah, then I'll cry. But if I give it like this, take it, then will I cry? Do you understand? You want to take it, take it. I have my experience of having dengue. I felt almost I'm going to leave the body. Okay. Almost, I felt that I'm going to leave the body, and there was no fear. Okay. This was the most severe experience in my life. Dengue, actually, you can't even lift your finger. On that day, I could not chant my rounds. 1-2 days I could, but it was only for 3 days. So one was very severe. It was most severe thing. I could not even lift my finger. What to talk of chanting Hare Krishna? I said, okay, finish. Okay. There is advantage of not marrying. If some person is married, just like some of the Matajis are also not married. Suppose if just meditate. If you die today, do you worry? Akash Prabhu, do you really worry? Nah. We don't really worry. But as soon as you're married, Are meri bachche ka kya hoga? What will happen to my son? That's so cute boy, and all those things. This is not my words. This is how Bhagavatam speaks. Unnecessary illusion. I was telling to that Mataji's mother, you are marrying your elder sister. Elder daughter. You think that attachment is going to stop? When she will have she will have some kids, she will become attached to them also. It never stops. The entanglement never stops in this. It just never stops. I'm seeing it even with devotees. They just never stop. Even sometimes I have to chastise. What is this? The daughter of the daughter has come. You will not come for class? I had to chastise that also. It is, and especially so. This nobody can deny. This illusion is there. It's there. It is there, and it's heavy illusion. Aham mamatma, this buddhi. I am this body, and these things belong to me. Increases after marriage. And if you don't marry and you just keep on practicing Krishna consciousness, naturally you feel it is so easy. The life is very easy. Anyhow, I'm not saying you marry or don't marry. Prabhuji, first पहले बोल देते हो, फिर बाद में बोलते हो you don't marry. This is experience. This is not, if you're not married, and what do you worry? और लोग बोलेंगे आपको, तुम्हारे आगे पीछे तो कोई नहीं है. Nobody is in front of you and behind. He say rascal number 1, in front of is Krishna and behind is also Krishna. Why do we worry? Is it not? Huh? Ito Narsinga, Parato Narsinga, Yato Yami, Tato Narsinga. Narsingh Devi is in front also and behind also. What do you worry? But it is only for those who really want to get into this illusion that marriage system is there. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Some people know. No, but Indra Mataja says, I am not finding it painful to quit job for the reason that I want to devote more time to Krishna and family. Should I be worried? It is not bothering me that I might not have a job for some time. I just don't care now because I want my time to be devoted my way. I did not get this. I am not finding it painful to quit job. No, don't quit your job. Do your job. Because I don't know, you can do your job. It's not a problem. I don't tell people to leave jobs and everything. Whatever. If your husband is ready to help you and support you, and it's okay. If the husband is not supporting you, then better do a job and then so that you can at least remain economically independent. All depends on case to case basis. I don't give any general advice. Some people know things will change with time, but in spite of they doing bhakti, still at times they cannot control their emotions and react unexpectedly. How to overcome the situation? Keep chanting Hare Krishna. Once you get a taste for chanting Hare Krishna, external situations not matter much. He does not have a job, is it not? Are you suffering? Any other person will have so much suffering, is it not? Rather, it seems they are not inclined to get a job also, is it not? You know how much suffering is going to come. I don't have a bank, well, I have a bank account, but I don't have like 64 lakh rupees or crores of rupees. I don't think what will happen, whatever this thing happen. It's just a matter of, if I worry, if something will happen, what is the point of worrying? You do whatever has to be done, needful, but worrying will not happen, is it not? It's just too much trouble. ज़्यादा सोचते हैं लोग, परेशान ज़्यादा रहते हैं. महाराज बोलते हैं चिंतन कीजिए, चिंता मत कीजिए. You remember Krishna is a thing of serving Krishna. You don't worry too much about this material life. And why for boys there's no problem. Nakul Prabhu wanted to join ashram. No difficulty. He was thinking to join after 1 month. Then he said, okay, I'm joining tomorrow. So he's coming here. Am I killing you? Not an issue at all, is it not? And even if you're staying at home, nobody can stop you from chanting Hare Krishna, whether you're Mataji or Prabhuji. We only can stop ourselves. Nobody can. None of our parents are equally powerful to Hiranyakashipu. Is it not? So when he could not stop Prahlad Maharaj, who can stop us? But sometimes even boys are even more timid than Matajis. My father is saying, don't chant Hare Krishna. I will not chant Hare Krishna. The devotee was there. Anyways. So Akash Prabhu is using the philosophy in a wrong way. He says, you stay cool wherever you are. So, okay, yeah, no problem. So, no problem. I know you're intelligent boys, so you will remain cool in Lucknow only. Okay. Remain cool, what I can do. But here it is cooler. More cool. It's more cool. Baba, you have not tasted the prasadam which we're going to taste right now. Aaj ek photo bheji do usko nalayak. You just, but by photo you cannot understand. The problem is tongue, the eyes cannot taste it and tongue cannot describe it. Wonderful khichdi we're going to have, wonderful prasadam. Matajis, you don't know anything. You are nothing in comparison to Karnamrit Prabhu, our best brahmacharis. You cannot cook anything like this. You come and visit and then you see, oh, he's an exalted acharya for cooking. Anyway, I'm just joking. But it's wonderful prasadam. So where is the difficulty? Anyways, life goes on. You have a question? Yes, Prabhu.
As Mayavadi suppose that the soul enters in the
The soul enters into Brahman. The Mayavadis say like this. Yes.
same way happens in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Virat says that all this bodies come. So what is the difference between them?
Okay, very good question. Then, but in the 11th chapter, we see that the bodies are entering into the Vishwarup. So what does it indicate? That the time, in the form of time, the Lord is destroying the bodies, but not the soul. And we know that when there is pralay, full pralay, then the soul is entering into Mahavishnu. No, I'm talking about the full pralay. At the end of the age of Brahmaji, then it enters into Mahavishnu. But it is not destroyed. And then, when there is next exhalation of Mahavishnu, again the soul comes with his desires and it is given bodies. So soul does enter into Mahavishnu, but it doesn't merges. That means it cannot lose its individuality. Okay. Somebody is coming for Karnamrit Prabhu ki jai. Yeah. Coming to taste Khichdi Prasadam today? Well, it's every day. Okay. Thank you for coming to Bhagavad Gita class. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tai Gaur Premanande.